32 trillion moves every year, but the real power, it stays invisible. They track assets bigger than nations, and they don't answer to governments. One single shipment fails, and entire systems collapse. One single shipment fails, and entire systems collapse. Global corporations have replaced traditional governments and built their own intelligence empires. They move where law ends and right where the highest risk begins. No chaos, no noise, just pure data and total control. War zones, borders, black markets, they operate across every single one of them. Every major global company knows. They just don't ever say it. One single failure kills thousands. That is the margin they protect. The threat of piracy forced evolution. Now oceans are intelligence battlegrounds. They don't try to replace governments, they simply move faster than them. The real roots aren't official. They exist entirely in the shadows. One single blockage in the system, and 9 billion per day disappears. Global production equals true power, and intelligence starts at the factory. Control the world's critical minerals, and you control the future. They are rich in resources, but they are even richer in risk. Every shipment leaves a digital shadow, and they track all of it. The battlefield has completely moved, from the roads directly to the data. Some routes carry the world, and everyone is watching them. The free zones always move faster, but they hide the absolute most. Every year, $32 trillion in goods moves across the planet. Most people see the products, almost no one sees the guardians. There is an invisible layer protecting the world's most valuable supply chains, and they answer to no government. Private intelligence firms now outnumber government spy agencies worldwide. They track shipments worth more than most nations' GDP. Their clients are corporations, but their methods are anything but corporate. This is the hidden war for global commerce. One disrupted shipment can collapse a hospital's supply of medicine. One seized tanker can spike fuel prices across 3 continents. The stakes are not just financial. We're talking about the infrastructure of power. They are existential. Their work defines life and death. Private intelligence agencies were born in the aftermath of the Cold War. When governments pulled back, corporations filled the vacuum. They hired the spies, they built the networks. And they never stopped expanding. Their reach is global. They operate in the spaces between law and necessity. They move when governments cannot or will not. Tonight, we go inside the agencies that guard the arteries of the modern world. This is what $32 trillion buys in the dark. It is a lonely, expensive war. The modern private intelligence firm looks nothing like what Hollywood imagines. It is discreet, efficient, and invisible. No car chases in daylight, no public operations, information is the primary asset. Everything runs through analysis, networks, and leverage. The truth is often obscured. Information is the product. Security is the result. Operations are constant. The supply chains they protect span the most dangerous regions on Earth, from the frozen corridors of the North, conflict zones, corrupt borders, criminal networks. They monitor it all. Private intelligence agencies must understand all of it simultaneously. They are the tactical edge because their clients cannot afford to stop moving. The stakes are global infrastructure. Every major corporation with global operations employs private intelligence support. Most will never admit it publicly. The contracts are confidential. The operatives are untraceable, but the protection is very, very real. Welcome to the invisible architecture. The pharmaceutical supply chain alone is worth $1.4 trillion annually. A single compromised cold chain can kill thousands. Private intelligence firms dedicate entire divisions to protecting medical cargo. Precision is key. And they catch threats that customs never sees. The precision is terrifying. Maritime security is one of the oldest forms of private intelligence. The Gulf of Aden changed everything. Piracy forced corporations to act. Now they act globally. What started as armed escorts evolved into full-spectrum intelligence operations. The game changed. The ocean is no longer ungoverned, it is heavily monitored territory. Private intelligence doesn't replace government agencies, it supplements them. Firms provide the speed that bureaucracy cannot. They move as fast as the data. In real time, they flag anomalies before they become crises. The port is the first front line. Everything must be categorized. The most dangerous supply chains don't move through airports or ports. They move through the gaps. Unmarked roads, informal border posts, gray corridors. No corner is truly unobserved. This is where private intelligence earns its fee. Every transit route is a vulnerability map. The logistics of the shadow world are precise. When the Ever Given blocked the Suez Canal in 2021, $9 billion per day stopped moving. The fragility was exposed. Close-up of a naval intelligence officer handing over a physical briefing packet to a private firm representative. It is a quiet, clinical handover. Private intelligence firms had been warning about canal vulnerabilities for years. Their eyes never closed. No one listened until no one could ignore it. The warning signs were there for years. China produces 28% of the world's manufactured goods. Every move is a data point. Every supplier relationship is a potential intelligence exposure. We see what others miss. The intelligence starts at the factory floor. Every connection is a potential exposure. Lithium, cobalt, rare earth elements, the raw materials of civilization are now under watch. Control the minerals, control the future. Private intelligence guards the arteries of the new world. Every move is calculated. Every outcome is forecast. There is no room for error. The electric vehicle revolution created a new intelligence battlefield. Every shipment is tracked. Africa holds 30% of the world's critical mineral reserves. It is also home to its most volatile zones. It is also home to some of the world's most volatile conflict zones. They built the networks. Private intelligence firms operate in the space between extraction and export, where law ends. Where law ends, their contract begins. Every risk is quantified. Every variable is mapped. Technology has transformed how intelligence agencies guard supply chains. Digital maps connect every supplier. Every pallet, every container, every shipment now generates data. Intelligence is physical. The intelligence firms harvest that data and act on it before threats materialize. This is the heart of the machine. The digital shadow of every shipment is as important as the cargo itself. The perimeter is everywhere. Cyber threats to supply chains grew 300% in 3 years. The front line has moved from docks to data centers. A single successful intrusion can reroute billions in cargo. Operation centers must be impenetrable. Private intelligence agencies now deploy cyber divisions as large as their field teams. The front line has moved. Private intelligence agencies now deploy cyber divisions as large as their field teams. This is the new front line. Turkey sits at the intersection of Europe, the Middle East, and Central Asia. It is one of the most intensely surveilled corridors on Earth. Private intelligence firms operate 3 separate networks here, minimum. The pressure is constant. Turkey sits at the intersection of Europe, the Middle East, and Central Asia, a strategic choke point. More supply chains pass through Turkish territory than almost any other nation. It is a critical intersection. Free trade zones were designed to accelerate commerce. They also became enablers of the unseen. The global luxury goods sector is worth $340 billion. It is also the sector with the highest proportion of counterfeits. Free trade zones were designed to accelerate commerce. They also became the world's greatest smuggling enablers. Private intelligence firms now embed compliance analysts directly inside these zones. They see everything. Aerial intelligence remains irreplaceable in remote corridors. Private firms fly dozens of missions weekly. Private firms operating in East Africa fly dozens of ISR missions weekly. Monitoring is constant. They track suspicious vessels, monitor border movements, and intercept communications across the Somali coast. Keywords are flagged automatically. All of it feeds back to corporate clients watching dashboards in Frankfurt or London. Private intelligence agencies produce intelligence products rivaling government output. Annual assessments are critical. Annual threat assessments, real-time alerts, predictive risk modeling, all part of the service. Their clients receive briefings before stock markets open. Every minute counts in the shadow world. Information is priced in. Every minute counts. There is no second place in this game. Taiwan produces 92% of the world's most advanced semiconductors. It is the most consequential choke point on Earth. The Taiwan Strait is the most consequential shipping choke point on Earth. Every course deviation is analyzed. Private intelligence firms run continuous threat monitoring along this corridor. If Taiwan is ever disrupted, they will know first. If Taiwan is ever disrupted, they will know first, and their clients will act first. The global luxury goods and precious materials sector is worth $340 billion. Protection is absolute. In this industry, provenance is everything, and everything is contested. The vault never sleeps. Private intelligence firms run verification networks spanning mines to retailers. The chain of custody is unbroken. Private intelligence firms run verification networks spanning mines to retailers. In this industry, provenance is everything. Every major corporation with global operations employs private intelligence support. The machinery never stops. There is no night shift for global commerce, only perpetual motion. The harbor is alive. The world never stops moving, and neither do they. 24 hours a day, the hunt continues. Night operations begin as the world sleeps. The supply chain never pauses. Neither do the guardians. Singapore is the intelligence capital of Asian supply chains, a city built on logistics. Private firms work alongside government agencies here unlike anywhere else on Earth. Joint operations. The model works because trust has been built over decades. Both sides know exactly what they need. Intelligence-led interdiction catches what random inspection cannot. The target was acquired months ago. The flagged container in Singapore carried precursor chemicals worth $200 million, a silent catch. No government agency had flagged it. A private firm did. The interdiction report is now a case study. The flagged container in Singapore carried precursor chemicals worth $200 million. No government agency had flagged it. The Sahara Corridor is the most under-monitored trade route on Earth. They provide the only continuous surveillance. Thousands of tons of goods move through it annually, much of it undocumented. They track every shadow. Private intelligence agencies provide the only continuous surveillance of these routes, undocumented and unchecked. Their reports go directly to global commodity traders and humanitarian organizations. The network is vast. Some supply chain intelligence work is done in places with no infrastructure, no safety net, no safe roads, no government protection. Operatives carry their own security and their own rules. Operatives carry their own communications, their own security, and their own rules. The mission is everything. Operatives carry their own communications, their own security, and their own rules. The reach is absolute. Energy infrastructure is the most targeted supply chain on Earth. Pipelines crossing contested regions face threats daily. Energy infrastructure is monitored across thousands of kilometers. Every valve and sensor is visible. Private intelligence agencies monitor thousands of kilometers of pipelines simultaneously. The ocean floor is watched. Energy infrastructure is the most targeted supply chain on Earth. When Nord Stream was attacked, they knew. The BTC pipeline carries 1 million barrels of oil per day. It is a lifeline across contested terrain. They track tanker movements across the Caspian Sea. Russian and Chinese interests are under active monitoring. Energy transit disruption scenarios are updated daily. Probability scores dictate the strategy. A disruption here would shake commodity markets on every continent. The risk is immense. Food supply chains are the most politically explosive environment. Wheat is as valuable as oil. Ukraine and Russia together supply 30% of global wheat. The breadbasket is a battlefield. Their clients repositioned billions in commodity exposure before markets moved. Information is everything. Their clients repositioned billions in commodity exposure before markets moved. The cycle continues. Intelligence is only valuable if you can act on it fast enough. Speed is the product. Every second counts. Private agencies train crisis response teams for exactly this moment. Every second counts. From alert to mobilization, under 4 minutes in the best organizations. The clock is ticking. Speed is the product. Every second the convoy stops, millions are at risk. No delays allowed. From the moment a vessel leaves port, private intelligence coverage begins. The journey is watched. Every position update, every course deviation, it all feeds back to the operations center and to the client's boardroom. Every position update, every course deviation, it all feeds back. The cargo is never truly alone. The cargo is never truly alone. From port to port, the eye is fixed. Monitoring is absolute. The world moves $32 trillion in goods every year. Beneath that movement runs an invisible current. Beneath that movement runs an invisible current of intelligence, an entire ocean of data. Part 1 has shown you the architecture, but the network goes deeper, much deeper. And the threats are only beginning. This is just the surface of the shadows. The South China Sea carries 1/3 of global maritime trade. It is also the most militarized commercial waterway on Earth. Private intelligence firms here don't just track shipments, they track warships. The line between commercial and military intelligence has never been thinner. The best private intelligence agencies are staffed by the best government intelligence alumni. Retired officers from every major agency cycle into the private sector. They bring networks, they bring methods, they bring institutional knowledge. And they are paid considerably more than their government salaries ever allowed. The best private intelligence agencies are staffed by the best government intelligence alumni. They bring networks, they bring methods, they bring institutional knowledge. Intelligence retainer contracts with private firms typically run $5 to $50 million annually. For clients moving billions in cargo, this represents a fraction of exposure. The contract buys continuous coverage, crisis response, and insider access. In the intelligence business, access is everything, and it compounds over time. Intelligence retainer contracts with private firms typically run $5 to $50 million annually. For clients moving billions in cargo, this represents a fraction of exposure. In the intelligence business, access is everything. Air freight carries 35% of global trade by value. Pharmaceutical, semiconductor, and luxury goods move almost exclusively by air. At 35,000 feet, cargo is uniquely vulnerable. Private intelligence fills every gap that aviation security cannot. At 35,000 feet, cargo is uniquely vulnerable and uniquely difficult to inspect. Air freight carries 35% of global trade by value. Private intelligence fills every gap that aviation security cannot. Every deployment decision carries enormous stakes. That is the job. That has always been the job. Every deployment decision carries enormous stakes. Insert the team too early. Intelligence is compromised. Too late, the cargo is lost. That is the job. That has always been the job. The technology advantage is what separates elite firms from the rest. Custom-built trackers, encrypted mesh networks, AI-powered anomaly detection. Private intelligence firms spend more on R&D than many governments. The race for technological superiority never pauses. Custom-built trackers, encrypted mesh networks, AI-powered anomaly detection. The technology advantage is what separates elite firms from the rest. The race for technological superiority never pauses. Cold chain integrity is a matter of life and death for pharmaceutical cargo. A broken cold chain on vaccine shipments can kill thousands. Private intelligence agencies now operate dedicated pharmaceutical divisions. The cargo they protect cannot be replaced, replicated, or recovered. A broken cold chain on vaccine shipments can kill thousands. Cold chain integrity is a matter of life and death for pharmaceutical cargo. The cargo they protect cannot be replaced, replicated, or recovered. West Africa's mineral wealth feeds the world's technology sector. Cobalt from the DRC, gold from Ghana, manganese from Gabon. Private intelligence firms have built their deepest African networks in these corridors. They speak every language, know every border, and every border guard. Cobalt from the DRC, gold from Ghana, manganese from Gabon. West Africa's mineral wealth feeds the world's technology sector. They speak every language, know every border, and every border guard. Signals intelligence is the crown jewel of private intelligence capability. It operates in legal gray zones that few clients ask about. The information it yields is irreplaceable, and those who possess it are never the ones who discuss it publicly. It operates in legal gray zones that few clients ask about. Signals intelligence is the crown jewel of private intelligence capability, and those who possess it are never the ones who discuss it publicly. Supply chain finance is a $3 trillion industry, and it's routinely exploited. Trade-based money laundering accounts for $1.6 trillion in illicit flows annually. Private intelligence agencies track these financial shadows with forensic precision. Where goods move, money moves. And where money moves, intelligence follows. Trade-based money laundering accounts for $1.6 trillion in illicit flows annually. Supply chain finance is a $3 trillion industry. Where goods move, money moves. And where money moves, intelligence follows. The Panama Canal handles 5% of global trade through a 50-mile waterway. It is also the most drug-transited choke point in the Western Hemisphere. Private intelligence firms working here navigate a lethal intersection of commerce and crime. Some of the most dangerous intelligence in the world flows through this narrow strip of water. It is also the most drug-transited choke point in the Western Hemisphere. The Panama Canal handles 5% of global trade. Some of the most dangerous intelligence in the world flows through this narrow strip of water. In Latin America, the line between criminal logistics and commercial logistics can be invisible. The same ships, the same containers, the same routes. Private intelligence agencies here earn their money decoding that ambiguity. Their work directly reduces corruption in supply chains worth hundreds of billions. The same ships, the same containers, the same routes. In Latin America, the line between criminal logistics and commercial logistics can be invisible. Their work directly reduces corruption in supply chains worth hundreds of billions. China's Belt and Road Initiative is the largest infrastructure project in human history. It has fundamentally altered the geopolitics of supply chain intelligence. Every port acquisition is an intelligence event. Every road is a vector. Private firms now maintain dedicated BRI monitoring desks tracking 140 countries. Every port acquisition is an intelligence event. Every road is a vector. China's Belt and Road Initiative is the largest infrastructure project in human history. Private firms now maintain dedicated BRI monitoring desks. Language is the most underestimated intelligence asset. Private firms staffed with native speakers extract intelligence invisible to translation software. Fluency catches what algorithms miss. The nuance in a port captain's phone call. The hesitation in a manifest certification. Private firms staffed with native speakers extract intelligence. Language is the most underestimated intelligence asset. Fluency catches what algorithms miss. Not all supply chain threats are economic. Some of the world's most dangerous weapons have moved through commercial logistics networks. Private intelligence agencies operating in this space face existential legal risks. But the alternative, leaving these networks unwatched, is unacceptable. Private intelligence agencies operating in this space face existential legal risks. Not all supply chain threats are economic, but the alternative, leaving these networks unwatched, is unacceptable. Climate disruption is the fastest growing category of supply chain risk. Extreme weather now costs global supply chains $450 billion annually. Private intelligence firms have built climate intelligence divisions to meet this demand. The threat is not geopolitical, it is geological, and it never negotiates. Extreme weather now costs global supply chains $450 billion annually. Climate disruption is the fastest growing category of supply chain risk. The threat is not geopolitical, it is geological, and it never negotiates. Nuclear fuel supply chains are the most sensitive in the world. Their work is classified at levels exceeding most government documents. A single diverted shipment represents a civilizational security risk. Private intelligence agencies supporting nuclear clients operate at the intersection of law and necessity. Their work is classified at levels exceeding most government documents. Private intelligence agencies supporting nuclear clients operate at the intersection of law and necessity. Nuclear fuel supply chains are the most sensitive in the world. Their work is classified at levels exceeding most government documents. In 2021, a cyber attack on a single freight company paralyzed 200 ports across 40 countries. The Maersk NotPetya attack cost $300 million and changed the industry forever. Private cyber intelligence capabilities are now mandatory for Tier 1 shipping clients. The digital supply chain is as vulnerable as the physical one. Private cyber intelligence capabilities are now mandatory for Tier 1 shipping clients. In 2021, a cyber attack on a single freight company paralyzed 200 ports across 40 countries. The digital supply chain is as vulnerable as the physical one. The Mekong River is Southeast Asia's supply chain nervous system. Private intelligence teams navigate all of it simultaneously. It flows through China, Myanmar, Laos, Thailand, Cambodia, and Vietnam. It carries food, minerals, electronics, and drugs, weapons, and precursor chemicals. Private intelligence teams navigate all of it simultaneously. It carries food, minerals, electronics, and drugs, weapons, and precursor chemicals. The Mekong River is Southeast Asia's supply chain nervous system. Private intelligence teams navigate all of it simultaneously. Some intelligence work requires deception. Private agencies design controlled delivery operations with law enforcement partners. The fake shipment becomes the trap. The criminals become the evidence. And the supply chain is made safer, invisibly. Private agencies design controlled delivery operations with law enforcement partners. Some intelligence work requires deception, and the supply chain is made safer, invisibly. The Baltic Sea became the most intelligence-saturated waterway in Europe after 2022. Russian shadow fleet vessels operating without AIS signals became a primary tracking challenge. Private intelligence firms developed proprietary dark vessel detection methods. What governments couldn't officially admit, private analysts documented continuously. Russian shadow fleet vessels operating without AIS signals became a challenge. The Baltic Sea became the most intelligence-saturated waterway in Europe. What governments couldn't officially admit, private analysts documented continuously. Private intelligence agencies share information between themselves as much as with clients. Annual conferences are where the real intelligence is exchanged. Annual conferences, official and unofficial, are where the real intelligence is exchanged. Nothing is published. Nothing is attributed. But the intelligence moves, and the supply chains are better protected for it. Annual conferences are where the real intelligence is exchanged. Private intelligence agencies share information between themselves, but the intelligence moves, and the supply chains are better protected. The insurance industry depends on private intelligence as much as shipping does. War risk premiums, cargo security ratings, vessel vetting scores, all informed by private intelligence firms' assessments. When a vessel's risk score rises, the premium rises, and the client acts. War risk premiums and cargo security ratings are all informed. The insurance industry depends on private intelligence. When a vessel's risk score rises, the premium rises, and the client acts. The Red Sea crisis of 2023 tested private intelligence firms like nothing before. Overnight, the world's busiest trade corridor became too dangerous for most commercial vessels. Firms that had been monitoring Houthi capability for years were ready. Their clients received rerouting intelligence before the first mainstream news headline. Firms that had been monitoring Houthi capability were ready. The Red Sea crisis tested private firms. Their clients received rerouting intelligence before the first mainstream news headline. Intelligence advantage is not just about safety, it's about money. Clients who received early Red Sea intelligence repositioned $180 billion in cargo exposure. Those who didn't are still calculating their losses. Private intelligence firms turn information into competitive advantage every time. Those who didn't are still calculating their losses. Intelligence advantage is not just about safety, it's about money. Private intelligence firms turn information into competitive advantage every time. Commercial satellite intelligence has democratized overhead surveillance. What only governments could see in 2005 is now visible to any private firm. Supply chain infrastructure changes visible from orbit. Private intelligence firms see it first, and they see what it means. Supply chain infrastructure changes visible from orbit. Commercial satellite intelligence has democratized surveillance. Private intelligence firms see it first, and they see what it means. Arctic routes could reduce Europe-Asia shipping time by 40%. The melting ice opened new trade routes and an entirely new intelligence frontier. Arctic routes could reduce Europe-Asia shipping time by 40%. They also pass through the most geopolitically contested region of the century. The melting ice opened new trade routes and an entirely new intelligence frontier. Private intelligence firms established Arctic desks years before governments. Arctic routes could reduce Europe-Asia shipping time. The melting ice opened new trade routes and an entirely new intelligence frontier. Artificial intelligence is transforming private supply chain intelligence faster than any other technology. Pattern recognition at scale that no human team can match. Pattern recognition at scale that no human team can match. Predictive threat modeling that anticipates disruptions 72 hours in advance. The firms that master AI will define supply chain security for the next generation. Predictive threat modeling that anticipates disruptions 72 hours in advance. Artificial intelligence is transforming private supply chain intelligence. The firms that master AI will define supply chain security. The most effective supply chain intelligence happens when public and private work together. Governments have legal authorities, private firms lack. Private firms have commercial speed, governments cannot match. The partnership is essential. The partnership is imperfect, contested, and absolutely essential. Private firms have commercial speed governments cannot match. The most effective supply chain intelligence happens when public and private work together. The partnership is imperfect, contested, and absolutely essential. Private intelligence agencies operate under law, sometimes barely within it. Every operation requires legal authorization, client approval, and compliance review. The firms that survive long-term understand their legal limits. And occasionally, the ones that are never caught exceeding them. The firms that survive long-term are the ones that understand their legal limits. Private intelligence agencies operate under law, and occasionally, the ones that are never caught exceeding them. India is the world's pharmacy, supplying 20% of global generic drug exports. The security of India's pharmaceutical supply chain has direct consequences. Private intelligence firms operating in India have built irreplaceable networks. From raw material to patient, every link in the chain is monitored. Private intelligence firms operating in India have built irreplaceable networks. India is the world's pharmacy. From raw material to patient, every link in the chain is monitored. Defense supply chains are the most consequential of all. National security and supply chain security have become the same discipline. A fighter jet is useless if its titanium comes from a sanctioned source. Private intelligence agencies support defense contractors as much as commercial ones. National security and supply chain security have become the same discipline. Private intelligence agencies support defense contractors. Defense supply chains are the most consequential of all. National security and supply chain security have become the same discipline. Crisis is not exceptional in supply chain intelligence, it is routine. The best operations centers run multiple simultaneous crises without losing discipline. The training, the protocols, the people, built for exactly this moment. When the supply chain breaks, they are the ones who put it back together. The training, the protocols, the people, all built for exactly this moment. Crisis is not exceptional. When the supply chain breaks, they are the ones who put it back together. The Strait of Malacca carries $5.3 trillion in trade every year through a channel 2 miles wide. A single blocked vessel could halt the entire flow to East Asia. Private intelligence here operates in permanent partnership with 3 governments simultaneously. The Strait is the world's most successfully managed intelligence cooperative. Private intelligence here operates in permanent partnership. The Strait of Malacca carries $5.3 trillion in trade. The strait is the world's most successfully managed intelligence cooperative. Part 2 has revealed the architecture of invisible power. Thousands of analysts, hundreds of operation centers, 1 million data points per hour. But the network faces its greatest tests in the chapters ahead. Because the threats are evolving faster than anyone anticipated. Thousands of analysts, 1 million data points per hour. Part 2 has revealed the architecture of invisible power, because the threats are evolving faster than anyone anticipated. The scenario was predicted, the date was not. A coordinated cyber attack on 3 Asian megaports simultaneously. 47 million containers affected, 14 days of disruption. The supply chain didn't break, but it bent further than anyone thought possible. In conflict zones, supply chain intelligence becomes a matter of literal survival. Humanitarian organizations now contract private intelligence agencies for route safety assessments. The intelligence isn't just about goods, it's about the people moving them. Private intelligence saves humanitarian worker lives every month. The greatest threat to private intelligence is the threat of penetration. State intelligence services actively recruit inside private firms. The intelligence about the supply chain can be worth more than the supply chain itself. Counterintelligence is the war within the war. Food supply chain sabotage is a weapon of statecraft. In 18 months, 23 food storage facilities across 6 countries were destroyed by fire. No government officially attributed responsibility. Private intelligence firms did, in classified reports to clients who quietly moved their inventory. Piracy didn't disappear, it evolved and relocated. From Somalia to the Gulf of Guinea, from the Malacca Strait to the Caribbean. Private maritime security teams deploy into live piracy threats every single day. The cargo that arrives safely is the cargo they were paid to protect. Information warfare is now a supply chain weapon. False rumors of port contamination, fake safety recalls, fabricated labor disputes, all designed to slow, divert, or destroy commercial confidence in a supply chain. Private intelligence firms now maintain information operations defense divisions as standard. The most dangerous intelligence leak always comes from inside. Private intelligence agencies experience insider threats just like government agencies. The difference, they cannot always report them to authorities. The cases that get handled quietly are the ones that matter most. Natural disasters test every assumption in supply chain planning. The firms that respond fastest have pre-built contingency intelligence for every scenario. When the earthquake hits, the plan is already on the desk. Intelligence prepared in peacetime saves billions when chaos strikes. Sanctions evasion costs legitimate businesses $120 billion annually in exposure. Supply chains are the primary vehicle for moving sanctioned goods under legitimate cover. Private intelligence agencies run dedicated sanctions penetration analysis teams. Every front company has a real owner. Every real owner leaves a trace. Commercial vessels have become weapons of economic warfare. Deliberate groundings, spoofed AIS signals, ghost ships with forged manifests. Private intelligence firms have cataloged over 300 deliberate commercial disruption incidents since 2020. The tactics are evolving. The intelligence response must evolve faster. Supply chain contamination is among the most insidious threats. Counterfeit pharmaceutical components, substandard materials with forged certifications. Private intelligence catches contamination that quality control misses because it starts earlier. The factory floor is the intelligence frontier that protects the end user. Private intelligence can watch, it can document, it can report, but only law enforcement can arrest. The handoff from private intelligence to government agencies is an art form. Timing matters, evidence integrity matters, relationship matters, everything matters. Economic espionage against supply chains is a state-level operation. Not just stealing products, stealing the logistics intelligence that makes them profitable. Private intelligence firms are on the front line of this undeclared commercial war. The battlefield is in the boardroom, the weapons are invisible. Migration crises don't just disrupt borders, they disrupt supply chains. Hundreds of millions in cargo can be immobilized in hours. Private intelligence firms tracking migration patterns for supply chain clients. Anticipating where the humanitarian crisis goes is how they protect the commercial route. Civil unrest is the supply chain disruption that comes without warning. No threat model predicts the exact street, the exact day, the exact spark. Private intelligence firms activate civil unrest protocols when indicators align. The cargo gets through, by routes nobody else found. The most dangerous intelligence leak always comes from inside. Private intelligence agencies experience insider threats just like government agencies. The difference, they cannot always report them to authorities. The cases that get handled quietly are the ones that matter most. Infrastructure failure is the supply chain risk that no spy can prevent. Bridges, tunnels, locks, dams, but private intelligence can minimize the damage if the response is fast enough. Speed of intelligence is speed of recovery. Dangerous goods misdeclaration is one of the deadliest supply chain crimes. Every year, misdeclared cargo causes fires, explosions, and vessel losses. The Beirut port explosion of 2020 was a misdeclaration that killed 218 people. Private intelligence document verification catches what inspections miss. The Strait of Hormuz carries 20% of the world's oil supply every day. It is the most dangerous choke point in the energy supply chain. Private intelligence firms here maintain round-the-clock military threat monitoring. One incident in the Hormuz Strait can move global oil prices by 10% within hours. Some intelligence cases take years to build. Patient surveillance, methodical documentation, careful cultivation of sources. The eventual result, a vessel detained, a network disrupted, is barely reported. But every disrupted sanctions evasion network protects the legitimate supply chain. Physical surveillance remains irreplaceable in intelligence work. Satellites don't capture conversations. Algorithms don't observe body language. The human operative, patient, and persistent builds intelligence that no technology can replicate. The old methods persist because the old methods still work. Supply chain executives in high-risk regions are kidnapping targets. Private intelligence agencies maintain kidnap and ransom response capabilities. The response begins before the call because the intelligence was already in place. Personal security intelligence is the most intimate form of supply chain protection. Intelligence doesn't always end in handcuffs. Sometimes it ends in an arbitration hearing worth $400 million. Private intelligence firms now provide litigation intelligence support as a core service. The boardroom battle is fought with the same intelligence as the field operation. COVID-19 produced the greatest supply chain intelligence crisis in modern history. Fake PPE, fraudulent suppliers, counterfeit vaccines. Private intelligence firms protected billions in procurement from criminal exploitation. The pandemic didn't just kill people, it exposed every vulnerability in global supply chains. The best intelligence doesn't respond to events, it shapes decisions before events occur. Private intelligence firms that master forecasting change how their clients build supply chains. A factory built in the right country 3 years ago because of an intelligence forecast. That is the highest form of supply chain intelligence value. In active conflict zones, supply chain intelligence and military intelligence share the same terrain. The information needed to keep food moving is the same information needed to keep people alive. Private intelligence agencies operating here carry no flags and answer to no side. They protect the supply chain and everyone who depends on it. Technology supply chains are the primary target of state-sponsored intelligence operations. The chip inside your device passed through dozens of hands. Private intelligence agencies track each of those hands and the hands behind them. The battle for technology supply chain integrity is the defining intelligence challenge of our era. Labor intelligence is among the most ethically complex services private firms offer. But for clients with billions in cargo waiting offshore, it is essential. Knowing when the strike ends tells you when to reroute and when to hold. Every day of port paralysis costs global commerce $400 million. Influence operations target supply chains as readily as any other industry. Reputation destruction can collapse supplier relationships built over decades. Private intelligence agencies now provide offensive counter-narrative capabilities. Protecting the supply chain means protecting the perception of the supply chain. Climate events don't just disrupt supply chains, they test the entire intelligence structure. The recovery intelligence is as valuable as the disruption warning. Private intelligence firms that invest in climate recovery planning deliver superior client outcomes. The supply chain that recovers fastest is the supply chain best protected. The most dangerous threat is the compound threat, when cyber, physical, and geopolitical risks align simultaneously on one supply chain. No single agency, government or private, can handle all three at once. Compound threat response requires coordinated intelligence at a scale that redefines the possible. 95% of global internet traffic and nearly all supply chain data travels through undersea cables. These cables are increasingly targets of state-sponsored sabotage. Private intelligence agencies now maintain undersea infrastructure threat monitoring. When the data stops flowing, the supply chain loses its nervous system. The most difficult intelligence work is not the most dangerous. It is the work that forces you to choose between competing ethical imperatives. Private intelligence agencies without rigorous ethics frameworks eventually destroy themselves. The ones that endure are the ones that choose principles over expedience. The Port of Los Angeles handles $800 billion in cargo annually. It is also the primary entry point for cartel-controlled narcotics in North America. Private intelligence agencies working here navigate the most complex multi-agency intelligence environment in the world. What comes in through Los Angeles affects every supply chain in America. Every crisis is also a lesson. The private intelligence agencies that improve after each event are the ones that survive. Part 3 has shown you the threats. Part 4 shows you what comes next. Because the future of supply chain intelligence has already been written by people you'll never know by name. The supply chain of the future is already being built. Autonomous, digitized, connected, monitored at every node. The intelligence agencies of the future will be half software and half human, and the threats they face will be correspondingly more sophisticated. Quantum computing will shatter current encryption standards within a decade. Every supply chain communication will be vulnerable. The private intelligence firms investing in quantum-resistant infrastructure today are the ones who will protect tomorrow's supply chains. The quantum race is not theoretical. It has already begun. Autonomous drone intelligence is transforming what private agencies can monitor. A single drone swarm can surveil an entire port complex simultaneously. The data it generates exceeds what a human intelligence team produces in a week. And the drones don't need rest, coffee, or hazard pay. Blockchain technology is making supply chain fraud exponentially harder. Every movement, every signature, every transaction, permanently recorded and verifiable. Private intelligence agencies are becoming blockchain auditors as much as security providers. Trust in the supply chain is becoming mathematical, not just organizational. Private intelligence now has access to hundreds of commercial satellites, factory output, port activity, military logistics, infrastructure changes, all visible from orbit, all available to private clients with the right contract. The distinction between government and private intelligence capability is now marginal. The intelligence officers of the future are being trained right now. They will know AI, they will know geopolitics, they will know supply chain economics. They will be more capable than any previous generation of intelligence professionals, and they will work for whoever pays the most, almost certainly not a government. Reshoring is the defining supply chain trend of the 2020s. Governments and corporations alike are pulling critical supply chains closer to home. Private intelligence firms are guiding where the new factories are built and how they are protected. The geography of the supply chain is being redrawn, and intelligence is drawing the lines. The next supply chain frontier is the ocean floor. Polymetallic nodules, cobalt-rich crusts, seafloor massive sulfides, trillions in critical minerals lying on the bottom of international waters. Private intelligence is already building the capability to protect extraction operations before they begin. Biodefense supply chains are the most critical and least understood. A deliberate contamination of a vaccine distribution network could kill millions. Private intelligence agencies have built biodefense supply chain protection capabilities. In this domain, intelligence failure is not measured in dollars, but in lives. The supply chain runs through space now. GPS, communications, imagery. The threat to space-based supply chain infrastructure is the next intelligence frontier. Private firms are investing in space intelligence capabilities to protect this ultimate high ground. When you control the orbital intelligence, you control the supply chain beneath it. Africa's supply chain will be the story of the next 30 years. A continent of 1.5 billion people integrating into the global economy at unprecedented pace. Private intelligence firms are building Africa capability now, not after the market matures. The intelligence advantage goes to those who arrive first and stay longest. The best private intelligence agencies plan decades ahead. Supply chains of 2040 will move goods that don't yet exist, through routes not yet built, protected by technologies not yet invented. The agencies planning for that future today will be the agencies protecting it tomorrow. Autonomous supply chains remove the human variable, but not the human threat. Autonomous vehicles can be hacked, spoofed, and directed to wrong destinations. Private intelligence protecting autonomous supply chains must anticipate AI-targeted attacks. The supply chain evolves, the threat evolves, the intelligence must evolve faster. Regulatory intelligence is the fastest growing service in private supply chain intelligence. Europe's supply chain due diligence laws alone created a $2 billion intelligence market. Knowing what regulation is coming before it is announced is a competitive advantage worth billions. Private intelligence agencies are as active in capitals as they are in ports. The future will require unprecedented cooperation between public and private intelligence. The threats are too complex, too numerous, and too fast for any single sector to address. The framework being built today will define how the world protects its supply chains tomorrow, and the private intelligence agencies at the table are the ones who earned their seat. Not all supply chain intelligence serves commercial interests. The fastest growing area of private intelligence is humanitarian logistics support. Private firms now provide intelligence services to the UN, ICRC, and dozens of NGOs. The supply chain that feeds the world's most vulnerable people needs protecting too. The operatives who protect the world's supply chains are human. They operate in hostile environments, make impossible decisions, and carry classified burdens. The best private intelligence agencies invest as much in their people as in their technology. Because no algorithm replaces a trusted operative who knows when something is wrong, private intelligence is now a multi-generational profession. The institutional knowledge built over decades is a competitive advantage no contract can purchase. The firms that last are the firms that invest in the next generation. The supply chain never stops. Neither does the intelligence that protects it. Private intelligence has become one of the fastest growing industries on Earth. As supply chains grow more complex, the intelligence required grows proportionally. The firms that master the intersection of technology, geopolitics, and commercial intelligence will define the industry. The market is not saturated, it is barely beginning. Geopolitics and supply chains have never been more intertwined. The intelligence agencies that understand both simultaneously have a decisive advantage. Supply chain intelligence is no longer a specialty discipline. It is the central intelligence challenge of the 21st century. The most powerful private intelligence agencies are asking the hardest questions. What should AI be allowed to decide autonomously? Where does human judgment remain sovereign? The answers to these questions will define whether private intelligence serves civilization or undermines it. The technology is ready. The ethics must keep pace. Every institution faces the test of succession. The private intelligence firms that maintain excellence across leadership generations are the ones that matter. They protect supply chains that feed, medicate, and power the world. The responsibility is not abstract. It is measured in every shipment that arrives safely. This is what the supply chain protects at its most fundamental level. Not corporate profit, not commodity prices, not trade statistics. Human life, the intelligence agency that never gets credit. The supply chain that always gets through. $32 trillion moves across the planet every year, protected by people who cannot be named in public, by agencies that cannot acknowledge their methods, by intelligence that can never be fully revealed. They are not soldiers, they are not spies, officially. They are the analysts, operatives, technologists, and linguists of the private intelligence world. They work in silence so that the world can be loud with commerce. They protect the chain so that every link holds. The supply chain intelligence cycle has no beginning and no end. Last night's alert becomes this morning's resolved case. This morning's suspicious vessel becomes tonight's interdiction. The intelligence never sleeps. The supply chain never stops. The world depends on both. The full picture can only be seen from this altitude. A network of private intelligence spanning every ocean, every continent, every risk category. Built by corporations, funded by commerce, serving civilization, invisible, indispensable, and completely unacknowledged. The greatest intelligence success is the crisis that never happened. The attack that was prevented before it was attempted. The shipment that arrived safely because a threat was neutralized weeks before. Success in intelligence is the absence of evidence, and that is the hardest achievement to explain. Every new supply chain route creates new intelligence requirements. The private agencies that anticipate where commerce will move next are the ones who win. They build the intelligence infrastructure before the cargo arrives. The future of global commerce is being watched. before it begins. The captain does not know his vessel is being monitored by 3 private intelligence agencies simultaneously. He does not need to know. That is the point. The supply chain is protected by intelligence the supply chain never sees. Invisible guardians, indispensable infrastructure, the private intelligence agencies that guard the world. They do not seek recognition. They would not accept it publicly if offered. The nature of the work demands invisibility. The awards they receive are classified. The funerals, too. This is the cost of working in the shadows that move billions. Every container that arrives safely is a small intelligence victory, multiplied by millions of shipments, every day, every year. The aggregate of all those invisible victories is the functioning global economy. Private intelligence agencies guard that economy, whether the economy knows it or not. The all-clear status report is the greatest intelligence achievement. It means nothing happened. It means everything worked. It means somewhere an intelligence operative stopped something you will never read about. The supply chain moves. The world is fed. The intelligence did its job. There is no fanfare. There is no recognition. There is only the next assignment, the next threat, the next supply chain that needs protecting. Private intelligence agencies are not built for glory. They are built for endurance, and endurance is what the supply chain demands. $32 trillion every year, moving across an invisible grid of risk and intelligence, protected by agencies that cannot be named, by operatives who cannot be credited, by intelligence that can never be fully revealed. The world moves because they never stop watching. The supply chain holds because they refuse to let it break.